brush, flour, water. We're going to mix that. This is what we're going to cut and use as our visor to see through. And this is already a collar that I made a little bit earlier with 2 places for your shoulders. Here is a balloon which has been mounted into the collar. We will now cover the balloon with strips of paper, newspaper, and with a glue made of flour and water painted on. It's a bit of a messy job, so use a plastic cover. Mixing the paste. Don't make it too wet, but don't make it too thick either, and do it in bits, in drips and drabs. It can be quite liquid, but not too liquid. And then what you do is you put the paste directly onto the paper first, like that, and you start putting it over the top of your helmet. Eventually, we will pop the balloon when it's all dry inside, tidy it up with a pair of scissors and paint it all, and cut out a little visor for your sight port. About that amount of paste each time. Start at the top and then gradually work your way down to the sides. Hold the balloon carefully, don't pop the balloon. This could take a while. Well, now we get to the messy bit. Here we are without getting our hands dirty now. At this point I've covered quite a bit of the balloon and the collar with paper. And here are the paper strips. You can now start putting the paper strips directly on. A newspaper's worth roughly. But you have to build it up in layers. Use your hands, stroke it down like this. It's great exercise for the kids. Make sure that all the balloon is covered. Gradually send the strips so that you have an even depth around the entire helmet. Eventually, you're going to get quite a lot of newspaper and quite a lot of the paste. Here is the finished product, more or less. Overnight drying in front of a radiator, good sturdy construction. The balloon is still filled inside, which was the mold, and now I'm going to start painting it with a single coat of acrylic outdoor garden furniture paint to just finish it off and strengthen it. And then it'll dry, and then we'll cut a visor over here for the sighting, and that is a plastic visor from a croissant container got from the supermarket, and we'll come to that a bit later. So what I normally do is I put a plastic container like that, which is bigger than the paint tin. Paint tin's inside, it ensures that you don't get any splashes splashing around, and a normal brush, which you can throw away afterwards. And then you start from the edge like that, holding it like that, paint, until eventually you reach the top. I normally have an old piece of cardboard, daub the paint on. It must cover all of the paper, and it strengthens the paper enormously, already strong, of course, with the flour and water paste. Here we have the finished product. Inside there we had a balloon, which was deflated, taken out carefully, but it can also just be popped. Then we trimmed the cardboard the collar, and then we made a aperture for the visor, which is the lid of a simple croissant package from the supermarket. And then we used gaffer tape to do this. You remember I taped it and painted it earlier, and you can quite see it's perfectly smooth on the inside like that. And the papier-mâché, you would hardly know, it's completely strong. And now I put it on, of course remembering to take off the old glasses. And voila! Virus-free. Of course you breathe from the inside, but there's absolutely nothing, and you are constrained from touching your face.
And if you put a scarf around,
then you are, of course,
totally isolated.
Wuhan or bust.